विकास रंजन सर का नाम आपने टॉपर्स की जुबान से कई बार सुना होगा।
विकास रंजन सर,
विकास रंजन सर,
विकास रंजन पॉइंट ऑफ
विकास रंजन सर की
विकास रंजन सर की
विकास सर
From Vikas Ranjan,
to Vikas Ranjan sir for giving me direction.
उनकी सोशियोलॉजी गाइडेंस ने अनेक यूपीएससी एस्पिरेंट्स के सपनों को हकीकत में बदला है। अभी तक चाहे बात हो ऑफलाइन क्लासेस या रिकॉर्डेड सेशन की, उन्होंने हर फॉर्मेट में एक्सीलेंस डिलीवर किया है और इसी वजह से कई टॉपर्स उनके स्टूडेंट्स रहे हैं। लेकिन अब वक्त है एक नए चैप्टर का। स्टूडेंट्स की लगातार डिमांड को ध्यान में रखते हुए ट्रायम्फ आईएएस पहली बार लेकर आ रहा है एक एक्सक्लूसिव लाइव बैच, सोशियो लाइफ ऑनलाइन टैबलेट कोर्स। ये बैच होगा पूरी तरह से लाइव। यहाँ मिलेगा आपको डेली रियल टाइम इंटरेक्शन और विकास सर से डायरेक्ट मेंटरशिप। चाहे आप फ्रेशर हो या एक्सपीरियंस्ड एस्पिरेंट, ये बैच आपकी प्रिपरेशन में एक नई जान डाल सकता है और एक सच्चा गेम चेंजर हो सकता है। ज्यादा जानकारी के लिए तुरंत विजिट करें ट्रायम्फ आईएएस वेबसाइट और नीचे दिए गए नंबर पर कॉल करें। डोंट वेट नाउ, लेट्स गो लाइव विथ सोशियो लाइफ ऑनलाइन टैबलेट कोर्स।
Hello friends, my name is Hardik Kotari and I belong to Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh. I have cleared UPSC Civil Services Examination 2024 and I have secured rank 19 in the reserve list that was released very recently. So this is a video which would cover various aspects of my journey of civil services. So this was my fourth attempt at civil services. It hasn't been a smooth journey. So there has been both positives and negatives and multiple learnings from my journey. Before I start my UPSC journey, I would like to explain how it all started. It started with my graduation. So I've done my graduation in Bachelor of Arts in Economics, Political Science and Sociology from Christ University, Bangalore. So many people generally have this doubt that which graduation to prefer before going for UPSC. And the common answer is that one can pursue a BA degree and appear for civil services. Rather, on the contrary, I would suggest all the aspirants to not take the course of BA. I think the BA course is a highly risky course. Rather than a BA course, one should actually be pursuing a professional course like a CA or a BTech degree in AI specialization or a cyber security specialization or a MBBS degree or a CS degree, or there are multiple such degrees in the market. While a candidate takes a BA degree, it is a highly risky option and one is left with no job opportunities if one fails UPSC. Now coming to my journey of UPSC. So my UPSC journey was not smooth sailing. Initially in my first attempt, I failed my prelims. But from there on, I cleared all my prelims till my fourth attempt. What really changed is going to be covered right now. So in my first attempt, what I thought about prelims was that prelims is a knowledge based exam. So if you have knowledge of all the subjects, polity, history, geography, economy, science and tech and environment, you can easily clear prelims. But that was not the case when I really attempted the paper. So my learnings from prelims was that it is not a mere knowledge based examination, and alongside knowledge, one needs to understand certain elimination techniques. Once you know these elimination techniques alongside your vast knowledge base, that would help you to secure your prelims. And in my first attempt, I also did one of the biggest blunders in prelims. That was to not bubble the entire OMR sheet alongside the questions which I was solving. So my entire plan in my first attempt of solving prelims was that I would look into all the questions first, take all the right answers according to my understanding and bubble in the last 15-20 minutes. So in an exam scenario, I would like the candidates to understand that there would be immense pressure in the examination. You would not know many questions, and under such scenario, it might create a panic button once your OMR sheet is totally vacant in the last 10 to 15 minutes. This is the same scenario that has happened with me. So by the time it was 1 hour 45 minutes to the examination, so I ended up attempting 80 questions, and this led to my non-selection in my first attempt at prelims. But later on, in my successive attempts, in my second, third and fourth attempt, I was comfortably clearing prelims. So what did really change in my prelims strategy that led me clear the entire prelims paper thereon? The first thing that I changed was the OMR filling. So once I Solved the first question, I solved the OMR sheet. Second question, then put the OMR bubble. That is how I did my time management. There was no first reading, second reading and third reading of the prelims papers. There was only one reading. Once I saw a question, I never saw that question back. I bubbled and I went forward. So this saved a lot of time. This led to an affirmative action that I was solving more and more questions. And now, how to have such a high attempt in UPSC wherein you are able to confidently attempt 90 plus questions in the examination. In an exam scenario wherein there are 100 questions, 30 questions is what a serious candidate can actually solve sure shot. But for the rest of the questions, for the rest of the 60 plus questions which a candidate needs to solve, what should be the approach? So in the rest 70 questions, the 30 to 40 questions, one can use elimination techniques of removing extreme statements. Like some statements will have only, all, any, which are extremely worded statements. These statements can be eliminated to reach to a scenario wherein you are left with two options. And when you are in a scenario wherein two options are left, attempt that question. When you are attempting that question, you would be ending up solving roughly around 75 questions in the paper. Now you will be left with questions wherein you are able to eliminate only one option, which is an irrelevant option to the question probably. And such questions would be roughly around 15 to 20 questions. When you are able to eliminate one option, you are left with three options. Attempt these questions also. And once you attempt all these questions, you will be able to attempt roughly around 90 to 95 questions. This is actually required in the current pattern of UPSC prelims, wherein a candidate has lesser idea of the short questions. And once you have lesser idea of questions, it is required that the candidate takes risks and solve more and more questions to increase his chances of clearing prelims. So one more mistake that I did in my first attempt was that I solved only one test series and didn't check the PYQs. So this was a major blunder which I rechecked and recorrected in my further attempts, which led me to clear prelims in the successive attempts, in my second, third and fourth attempts. So I used to take these sectional tests of vision, which were 23 tests in all, and also attempt various other full-length tests of various coaching institutes. So I used to take 5 tests of Vajiram, 5 full-length tests of Vajiram, 5 full-length tests of Shunya IAS, 5 full-length tests of Forum IAS, and 5 full-length tests of any other coaching institute like IAS Baba. So if you can actually solve all the 23 sectional tests of Vision IAS plus 5 full-length tests of various other coaching institutes, then I think that would be an ideal simulation which can help you clear your prelims. What really stuck to my mind was a quote when I was actually solving all these tests, that if you do not sweat in practice, you are definitely going to bleed in the war. So what is required by a candidate is to have adequate simulation practice before they enter prelims. Alongside the test series, a candidate should also understand the relevance of PYQs. So what does PYQ do? PYQ provides one a manual on how UPSC is going to ask questions in its next year. So in the PYQ, what I understood was that in the 100 questions that were asked in prelims, there were 20 questions that would be asked in polity section, 20 questions would come from the economy section, 20 questions would come from the environment section. So 60 questions are going to come from these three components, and then 20 questions are going to come from the history component. This would mark the 80% of the paper. So 80 questions are going to come from this domain, 10 questions from geography and 10 questions from science and tech. So the PYQ analysis helped me understand the criteria and the weightage of each and every subject for prelims. So in the polity segment, I also understood that in those 20 questions, what were the major sub-themes in which UPSC is interested in asking questions. The first theme that I identified was Parliament, then fundamental rights, preamble, DPSP. These were the recurring themes across all the years in the prelims papers. Then comes the segment of economy. So in economy, most questions revolved around banking segment, and questions were also conceptual in nature. So if you understood the concept of say inflation, UPSC will ask you how is inflation affecting the economy? Is inflation having a positive impact or a negative impact in many scenarios? So it is going to be more conceptual in nature when it comes to the economy segment. Then comes the environment segment. In the environment segment, the major focus of UPSC is around Indian legislations. So in Indian legislations, what is important? So the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Environment Protection Act 1986, and the Forest Rights Act 2006. These were the major recurring themes in the environment segment. Also, the international conventions of UNFCCC were the important topics that were covered in UPSC in successive years. So the PYQ analysis overall helped me understand the major themes in which UPSC is asking questions. Once you know these themes, you can revise these themes effectively, and this can help you clear your prelims paper by understanding where the focus of UPSC is. So analyzing the PYQ questions will also tell you one critical fact, that the nature of questions are of two types. The first nature of question is static questions, and the second nature of questions is the current affairs questions. So majority of the candidates are generally confused of how to do current affairs for the prelims examination. So my initial strategy was to take in a magazine of a current affairs. So I took the Vision magazine current affairs, and I made short notes of each and every month. So I took monthly magazines of January, February, March, April, May, June. So for the entire span of say 15 months before the examination, I took all those magazines, and for each and every magazine, suppose I took a magazine of January. So in this magazine, I converted this magazine of say 100 pages into 3 pages short notes. Similarly, for all the magazines of all the months. So it became roughly a 45 pager note, and I used to revise these notes effectively before my first attempt. What I realized that this was not a better exercise at understanding current affairs and all. This was a mere rote learning exercise wherein I was reading multiple number of facts without having an actual understanding of current affairs. So now the question arises in my mind, so where to do current affairs from? If not magazines, what is the next best alternative? The best way to do current affairs is to read the newspaper daily. So now, which newspaper to read? Some would suggest the Times of India, some would suggest the Hindu, but I read the Indian Express paper. Indian Express paper, I found that the paper was very brilliant in terms of my UPSC preparation, because it gave me a neutral point of view rather than a left wing or a right wing point of view. And also the explained part of the Indian Express paper was in the question answer format, which led me to understand various facts of a particular topic. So I feel that the candidates, rather than approaching a current affairs magazine, the best way to do current affairs is to read the newspaper. So after current affairs, we come to the second most important part, or rather the first most important part, which is the static syllabus. So if someone tells me to weigh between current affairs and static syllabus when it comes to the UPSC preparation, my understanding says that your focus should be on the static syllabus first. Because current affairs is very vast, you cannot read each and every aspect of current affairs. But on the static syllabus, you can have a firm hold on static syllabus. And if you are good at your static syllabus, you will be easily able to clear prelims with a margin and probably clear the forest cutoff too. So where do you cover this static syllabus from? When it comes to polity, Lakshmikant was my source. When it comes to history, the NCERT books of 6th, 7th, 8th, and then 11th and 12th NCERTs were very helpful. And also the fine arts NCERT of 11th standard. When it comes to environment, I didn't find the book of Shankar IAS, which many people refer, very interesting, but I referred to a La Excellence PDF of 60 pages when it comes to environment. That was more than enough for actually having a very good perspective on environment. Next, on geography, many people generally tend to read the GC Leong geography, but I've never read the GC Leong book. I have rather read the 11th and 12th NCRTs and also took lectures of Rishikesh Dudawat sir, which helped in gaining a very good conceptual clarity in geography. So polity is covered, history is covered, geography is covered, and environment is covered. And for economy segment of it, my preparation revolved around the lectures of Mrunal sir, who teaches in an academy, and that helped me gain a good hold in the static syllabus. So once you're done with your static syllabus preparation of short notes of each and every topic of say history, economy, polity, geography, environment, and science and tech, the next ideal step should be to challenge yourself whether you have a clear understanding of this static knowledge. And how can we challenge ourselves? This can be done by solving more and more sectional question papers. This sectional question papers, I generally took the question papers of Vision, which has 23 sectional papers in all. So it had 5 polity sectionals, 5 history sectional papers, 4 geography sectional papers. So in all there were 23 sectional papers. I used to solve these papers and strengthen my static knowledge. And in this process, while solving the paper, I used to commit a lot of errors. So these errors I used to actually mention in an error sheet. I used to mention, so in the first test, if I've done 30 errors, I used to mention these 30 mistakes in an error sheet in an A4 size paper, and I used to revise these papers effectively as well. And also while solving the sectional papers, if I used to commit a mistake in one particular topic a multiple number of times, then I used to revise that topic from the core book again. So if suppose I'm committing a mistake on 5th and 6th schedule, so I used to again go back to the Lakshmikant book and read the 5th and 6th schedule completely and then attempt the paper once again. So this helped me gain a very good foothold over the static syllabus, and I also request the candidates can also make an advantage of solving the static syllabus through sectional tests. So now UPSC is rapidly changing its pattern when it comes to the prelims point of view. So every year you would find a prelims paper that is coming out with a very different nuance altogether. Earlier you didn't have only 1, only 2, only 3, only 4 options. You didn't have options of match the following wherein you have 3 columns and you need to have a vast amount of understanding. So the prelims aspect of giving questions in the examination is changing drastically. So under such environment, how should a candidate appear and prepare for prelims? So now, how to solve a prelims PYQ paper? So once you're solving a prelims PYQ paper, you need to understand a couple of facts. The first thing is the language of the subject. So UPSC has a tendency to put a particular set of language while asking a particular question. This cannot be totally replicated in the test series that we take, mock test series that we take of the coaching institutes. So PYQ becomes very, very vital. Also, while solving PYQs, a candidate generally makes multiple silly errors or reading mistakes. What are these reading mistakes? So while reading a paper, a candidate forgets to read whether the question is asking correct or incorrect. These mistakes needs to be eliminated to actually increase our odds at clearing the prelims examination. Also, some of the questions can also be solved via the options. So in UPSC, you will have 4 options. Options like option A, 1 and 2, option B, 2 and 3, option C, 1 and 3, option D, 1, 2, 3. So when you have this nature of options, if you eliminate one option also among the 1, 2, 3 options that are already given, then you can reach an answer. So this thing is also a very vital thing which candidates need to keep in mind. Also, an important factor while appearing in your prelims paper is that in each and every year, 20% of the paper will be a different paper, a kind of paper which you would have never expected. Under such scenario, what a candidate requires is to stay calm. If you do not know the answer, it also means that many of the serious candidates do not know the answer. Stay calm in such a scenario. Have a firm belief that you still have 80% of the paper in your hand, and it is this mindset, this positive attitude towards problem solving and approaching the paper that will help you solve the prelims paper. So I have earlier mentioned about the need of simulation before entering into the main examination of prelims. So in simulation, I have also requested multiple candidates to give test series. So how many tests should a candidate give? So a serious candidate should ideally be giving 60 tests. So 60 tests roughly reciprocates into 60 into 100 questions, which is 6,000 questions. Once you have 6,000 questions of corpus that you have solved, you are confident enough to appear in the paper and actually deal with the prelims paper. So now, should a candidate enroll in a test series which is actually available in a coaching market? What was my approach? My approach was that I never enrolled in any test series. What I did rather was I was a part of multiple Telegram groups wherein the test series was circulated already. So I used to download these tests from there, and there was also a site called as a free upscmaterials.com site. So candidates can actually go to that site directly, go to the prelims section, and you will find multiple test series options there. Just take the test series there, solve the test, bubble it in your OMR sheets, and then you can check your answers and do the analysis accordingly. So I would not recommend any candidate as such to take a test series for prelims and purchase a test series program. So the next question one might have in their mind is that when should one be starting their prelims preparation? Since this stage, generally the phase of the examination generally has prelims, mains and interview, what is an ideal time for a fresh candidate appearing for prelims to start the prelims preparation? So if you are a fresh candidate, I would recommend to have at least 4 months of hardcore prelims preparation wherein you are not doing any answer writing, wherein what you're doing is just that you're reading your static syllabus, you're reading your current affairs, you're reading your newspaper on a daily basis and solving mock tests weekly twice. So if you start with this sort of a regime, I think that is better for a first attempter who is appearing for the examination. So for a first attempter, I think having a 4-month preparation, hardcore preparation of prelims is necessary. So you can start from February, March, April and May. So these 4 months can be very vital for a first attempter. So after January end, you can complete your entire mains preparation and then switch back to the prelims. And for people who have appeared for prelims multiple number of times and not cleared prelims, you can rather take a strategy of a 2 to 3 month preparation for prelims. And for people who are well versed with prelims, cleared prelims once, 2 months of preparation of prelims is more than enough. What is required in this preparation? So for all the candidates, I would actually suggest that initially your focus should be on the sectional tests, then the full length test series, the mock tests, then the simulations of various coaching institutes like Vision conducts Abhyas. Unacademy has its own simulation wherein multiple candidates come and appear for this exam. So you can do these simulations as well. But before 20 days of the exam, your strategy should not be towards these coaching institutes. Rather, your focus should be only PYQ analysis. So what your entire aim should be is that in the last 20 days, you will be solving the PYQs of UPSC. How does this help? This helps because in the last 20 days, you will be well versed with the terminologies, to the language of how UPSC asks and frames questions. You would be more aware of the correct and incorrect segment which is asked in the question. You would be aware of where are the various traps where UPSC sets in the examination, and these approaches will help you clear prelims comfortably. So friends, these were my learnings and outcomes of my prelims preparation. I hope this video is really helpful to each and every one of you to have a better understanding of prelims preparation. Alongside this friends, I would like to emphasize on one important aspect of your entire prelims journey. That is that when you are a serious aspirant and when you do not know a question in the examination, never be frightened or tensed on that question. If you are a serious aspirant and if you do not know the answer, it would be a likable scenario wherein most of the aspirants do not know that answer. At that point, what would help you score a point and have a fair better advantage than your competition is your confidence. So while you're attempting your prelims paper, have that belief while you're putting your bubble on the OMR sheet that you are marking the right answer. This firm belief will help you gain an extra edge in the examination. Also, when it comes to the mindset aspect of the prelims preparation, your mindset should always be that you should be hungry for those 2 marks. You should have that mindset that these are my 2 marks. These are my 2 marks that is going to get me the selection in prelims. And it would not be an amazement towards the end of your result that you might end up clearing prelims by 10 to 15 marks margin. But that 10 to 15 marks margin has come up from a point wherein you had the hunger to get those 2 marks. So whenever you solve a question, you should be solving that question with the mindset that these are my 2 marks. These are my 2 marks to gain a competitive advantage among the vast competition. I hope, friends, this video is very helpful to each and every one of you who are stuck with prelims, and I hope many of you clear prelims comfortably and get a chance at appearing for mains examination. Finally, guys, if you want to connect with me for your UPSC preparation and also for better tips and guidance, you can connect with me in my Telegram channel, which is mentioned in the description. And my channel name is CSC Preparation with Hardik Kotari. Also, you can connect with me on my Instagram. So my handle is Hardik Kotari, HARDIK KOTHARI 999. Thank you, guys. Thank you very, very much.